Oh, welcome back to the 3-Hour News Show. Now, this is See the Stories, the circular segment of the 3-Hour News Show. Now, do you guys know some of the lifestyle trends that are popular nowadays?
Yes.
Oh,
I think I can guess.
what are they?
Slow living.
Yes, well, actually, that will be our topic for today, but also lots of lifestyle that has been on trend these days. Frugal living.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
As well, and also the what you call it, the silent,
Silent retreat.
silent retreat,
Yeah.
and also
I don't think I could ever survive a silent retreat.
Really, but you're an introvert.
I know, but you're leaving me alone with my mind for like
oh
days
yeah,
and
that
days.
is
True.
true. That is actually true.
Well, today we're going to talk about slow living, a lifestyle many fail to distinguish from being lazy. So let's have a look at the story.
Slow living is a lifestyle, philosophy, and movement that encourages individuals to adopt a more deliberate and mindful approach to their everyday lives. It emerged as a response to the fast-paced, hectic, and often stressful nature of modern life. The concept is to savor each moment, appreciate the present, and find balance in an increasingly busy world.
The slow living movement gained momentum as a reaction to the negative effects of modern consumerism, technological overload, and the pressure to always be productive. By embracing a slower pace of life, proponents of slow living believe that people can experience increased well-being, reduced stress, and a deeper appreciation for the simple joys of life.
It is important to note that slow living is not about being lazy or unproductive. Rather, it is about finding a rhythm and pace that aligns with individual values and brings a sense of fulfillment and contentment. Some may interpret and practice slow living in various ways, but it encourages a more mindful and purposeful existence and at its core.
This is actually my biggest dream, to slow
be-
live.
But
Every
I
day.
don't know.
Be content,
In the era and modern time of everything has to be in a fast pace. Would you be able to implement the slow living in these challenges of life these days?
And that's the thing. Now you have to just survive on this hustle bustle every day, make
Yeah.
as much money as you can, buy a land
Somewhere else.
in the middle of nowhere,
Nowhere.
build your own house, and just live
Slow. All right. Now, to learn more about the concept of slow living, we are now connected with Kabin Kebun co-owner Mataniari. Hello, Niar. Thank you so much to join us today.
Hi, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
So,
Here.
Niar, this is quite not really new, but maybe still unfamiliar for us about slow living. Can you tell us more about it, and why has it this kind of lifestyle gained popularity in recent years?
Okay, so to start off, slow living is part of the slow movement, which is a global movement that is an evolution of the slow food movement, which started out in Italy in 1989. Slow living is a lifestyle choice that is about taking the time to think about the impacts of our actions and how it affects ourselves and our environment. It's about being aware that we are part of an ecosystem and that we have the responsibility and the power to maintain it. It's a way of life that directly challenges the fast, excessive, and often exploitative consumerist culture that is set to us by the global economy. And instead of exploiting natural resources and people in the endless pursuit of an unsustainable economic growth, slow living is about creating a regenerative and sustainable life that can be done through our actions. In the words of my mom, it's about doing everything as well as possible, not as fast as possible.
I love it.
Yeah.
So it's about the
Yeah.
quality.
Yes, that's right. Now,
Yes.
Could you please tell us about the differences between the slow living and fast-paced, which we are all now
Yeah.
experiencing every day? Give us concrete examples so that people understand this better.
Yeah, so they can actually differ from
Yes.
slow living and the fast-paced living.
Okay, so the slow living lifestyle is, as you said, a direct contrast to the fast living, ultra consumptive lifestyle that has been so embedded in our society for centuries. So it's about, yeah, again, stepping back and being more conscious about our actions, which also includes our spending habits. So, how many times have we bought a product without thinking about the process of how it's made, distributed, and marketed so that it ends up in our shopping cart? So, do we really think about the social and environmental impacts
Almost
on the
never.
making, selling, and buying of the product? So, yes, it's about being aware of the process and how things, again, end up in our hands.
I see. Now that you put it that way, that got me thinking. I'd never really thought about those things you mentioned, like the process, the supply chain,
Yeah.
and also I don't know how it gets into my card and stuff like that.
Nope.
And also. So that means slow living is actually taking some parts of the time in our life to actually reset and go back to ourselves and rethink about everything in the middle of the hustling, bustling of our busy days. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I see. All right, so now can we talk more about Kabin Kebun? So what are the key principles of slow living that your Kabin Kebun offers, and how can they be incorporated into our daily lives?
I think one of the most important aspects of slow living that we try to show to our guests in Kabin Kebun is that we should have empathy towards other people, our environment, and also ourselves. So we have we take time to so when we take the time to think about how, for example, the trash we throw away will end up in a river or in the ocean, polluting an already vulnerable natural resource that all living beings depend on, we would think twice about throwing it away, right? I think another key principle is also figuring out what we want versus what we need, and then shifting our consumption pattern so that we don't end up consuming so many things that would only make us happy for a brief moment in time. So that way we don't end up with an overconsumption of material products that, in the end of the day, is created to satisfy a demand made by the economic system to justify its continued exploitation of people and natural resources.
I see. Okay.
This might be a bit heavy, but we actually
It
just
is,
do things
it is.
little by little, you know.
Yeah, it's changing habits has never been easy.
Yeah.
Never been easy. And also we need some adjustments and also some adaptations in that. But on that note, okay, Nia, can you share with us some practical tips for slowing down and finding more balance in our hectic lives?
I think it's just taking the time to think just about how our actions can cause a ripple effect on our surroundings, which then has an effect on us. And that is a key to living a more mindful life. So, because for a lot of us, we can decide and have the power to decide and determine whether our actions are positive, can have a positive impact or a negative one. And another one would be, again, to prioritize what we need instead of what we want, so that we don't end up going after things that are ultimately unattainable.
Can you give us an easy example to that? Because this kind of thing is not familiar with my lifestyle, let's say, because I woke up every day and then making my coffee and sitting in my backyard and just, breathe the air in my backyard and stuff. And after that, I start my day.
Right.
Like going to gym and then getting ready to get to studio and then get in the show. And after that, I would probably have some places to go to and stuff. Can you give me a little example, just the simplest example that how slow living can be implemented in my daily life, in our daily life, to be inserted in one?
Okay, I think one example would be for our waste. So we are so used to getting things that are instant, like Indomie, for example.
Yeah.
You know. So in our case, so we sort out our trash. So we separate the organic and non-organic ones. And for our non-organic ones, Indomie has like so many sachets, right?
True.
And then we have to wash that so that it can be given way to a waste management center. And that takes time and water.
True.
And it's just so sometimes it's just not worth the effort. So it's just, I think it's the simple, small actions that we do can have an effect on, again, our lives and our surroundings, so that we don't throw away the trash in the landfill.
Could you please give us a glimpse of a day in your life? What's a typical day of a person who is practicing slow living? So we can get a better idea. And we can copy you.
So in the morning, I wake up, I check my phone.
Of course.
Yeah, and I go down, I have breakfast, and usually we try to cook our breakfast. So we try to use some of the ingredients that we plant at our home, and then have some coffee, and then for a lot of the times during my morning coffee, my mom would come down and just talk to me about basically give me like a college lecture on how exploitative our economic system, our current economic system is. So I guess that's one of the reasons why I also end up like her.
All right.
I see. So, probably, how many years already have you done the slow living concept in your life, for yourself?
For myself personally, I think we really started around the time of during the pandemic.
Okay.
We really felt the effect of it here. I mean, not physically, because we are in a village, we're quite isolated from everybody else. So, and we actually can like breathe fresh air. But like also, just we're just more aware of how harmful our ultra consumptive consumerism is, and how let's see, how dependent we are on so many things that are so out of our control, such as the global supply chain.
True.
So like how the food we eat sometimes can be imported from like South America or something.
Whoa, that's right. Now that you said it, it got me thinking already.
Thinking already?
Oh, wait.
Well,
Probably some of our food are actually imported from somewhere in, I don't know, Chile.
And using plastic, of
Using
course.
plastics.
Well, I really want to know about the challenges you face when transitioning into this lifestyle, but we have to take a little break first. We will continue our talk with Niar after that break, so don't go anywhere. Stay with us right here on See the Stories.